You're listening to UCW Radio.
In your face.
What we got here is a failure to communicate.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
You know what I mean?
Money to be made in a place like this.
Money never sleeps, pal.
You're crazy. Don't run when you lose. Don't whine when it hurts.
You know what it takes to sell real estate? It takes brass.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
All right, welcome to Money Never Sleeps. This is a show where we talk about anything and everything that impacts the flow of money from around the corner to around the world. And what I want to talk about today is something I've been speaking about for some time, and it has to do with cryptocurrencies. But this is significance. The big banks, they're jumping on the second wave of the internet. Now, cryptocurrencies are not the second wave of the internet. Blockchain is. So there's going to be, right now you have banks, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, you have BNY Mellon, you have Deutsche Bank. They're all jockeying to become custodians for cryptocurrencies. Okay, blockchain itself, they've been embracing it. They've been embracing it and utilizing it within their systems, and they're finding ways to make it work, to their advantage. So now the big banks, they're jumping in head first. They have been. And I'm not talking about the Squares and everything of the world. I'm talking about the big mamma jammas, the Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is the latest. What they said that they're going to start showing, but offering cryptocurrency services to their wealthy clientele. And they made a point to say it's not just Bitcoin. So what does this mean? This is pivotal because now Goldman Sachs, a major investment bank, a major banking institution, financial institutions, they're offering cryptocurrency services so they can become the custodian of it. Okay, now this cryptocurrency, again, it's not just Bitcoin. It's not just Ethereum. It's going to be a cornucopia of cryptocurrencies. I'm sure it's going to grow as they're able to add it and as they're able to become the custodian for it. And this is something that's going to continue to grow. And it's actually validating that cryptocurrencies are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. The digital future, I've been speaking about this. The digital future is bright. And you have to embrace it. You have to, because if you don't, you're going to miss the boat. You're going to miss the boat on what is to come. All right. Just the same way when television came out. Okay, everyone, they were like, oh, it's a fad. It's something that's going to be gone in a year. Well, it evolved. Blockbuster. Okay, they looked at Netflix like, oh, it's a fad. It's going to be gone. Nothing. Don't bother us. We don't want to buy you. And what happened? Where's Blockbuster? You have one lone store somewhere in Timbuktu. But Netflix is thriving, a multi-billion-dollar company. Point is, the future is not going to stop for you or for me or for anyone. It's not going to go and basically put the brakes on and say, oh, well, they're not ready. This group's not ready. Let's not go to the future. Let's not continue forging forward. No, it's going to continue to happen. The future is coming, and it's coming at a rapid pace. This pandemic shot the digital future, shot it out of the cannon, boom, right at you, right in your face. Now, when you have people at home, when you have your grandmother talking about Bitcoin, talking about NFTs, talking about this stuff, what does that mean? That this has gone mainstream, people. Mainstream. Now, this is not just a shadow world learning about cryptos. This is everyone understanding that it has a place. Now, the big debate is as far as, is it really a currency or is it a commodity? The bottom line is, okay, it's a store of value. There's value there. Same way the gold is a store of value. Gold is not money. Gold is a store of value. So the value of it, I guess, is predicated on a few things, on the perception of what that value is. Same thing with a painting. If you have a painting and the world believes it to be worth $100 million, well, then it's worth $100 million. If the world says, hey, it's worth $10, then it's worth $10. So that perception of value is important. Okay. Now, okay, with that said, the store value is there. It's a store value, and at the end of everything, when you're looking at cryptocurrencies, the utility becomes very important. Okay, and that store of value has to do with the utility. To have a cryptocurrency that does nothing, there's no value in it. Okay, this is why you have companies out there, groups out there that are making use of Bitcoin. Look at what Elon Musk did and how Tesla's allowing that to be used. You have other institutions that are allowing Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to be utilized for transactions. And again, it's not going to stop there. It's going to continue to go. Okay, continue to grow. And you're going to see the cryptos that have utility. These are the ones that are going to continue to thrive. Okay, now, even though cryptos trade like stocks most of the time, at the end of the day, you have to look beyond the hype and the trading frenzy. You have to look at it and say, hey, what is this worth? Or what could it be worth? What does it do? What does it do? Is this a coin that's just hype and all that stuff? Is it a token that's just being thrown out there so that people can get hyped up to buy it? Are they getting confetti on their transactions? I mean, is it like, what is going on there? Okay, some coins, with the trading activity, with going up, down, this, that, it becomes a casino to some people, especially when you have the little ones that are trading at pennies. You have to look at the ones that have value. Okay, the ones that have value, that are being utilized for something greater than what it is. That's why Ethereum is a good example of utility, because it allows other things to be built on their system. And that's pretty cool. And that's pretty interesting. And that is what's going to give them sustainability. And they're going to be one of the last man standing when it's all said and done. And they'll be the leaders in this arena. I have no question about that. And now with NFTs, with the non-fungible tokens, this is where it gets interesting too. Now, I'm thinking that the Goldman Sachs of the world, the JP Morgans, the BNY Mellons, and even the Deutsche Banks, that these groups, they're going to wind up finding a way to become custodians for these NFTs. And why is that a good thing? First, they're going to generate fees from it. Of course, they're going to generate money from it, but that's not the key thing. The key thing is that it protects the holder of the NFT. So if you have an NFT, as opposed to holding it yourself and hoping, pray to God, that in 10 years it's still there, they're making sure it's going to be there. So that can be the saving grace, and that can give greater credibility to NFTs and what is going on there. Again, just to touch on NFTs, I don't want to make the whole show about it. As I said, an NFT, if you buy a non-fungible token and it represents a piece of art, a piece of music, piece of something, that to me is a master copy. That is the original, and whoever buys it should be able to monetize it till kingdom come, to as much as they want, because they're buying the rights for it. And they're buying the original, they're buying the rights. Same way you buy the master of a song, you own the rights to go market that and do and reproduce that as many times as you want to make money from it. And that's what is going on. That's what should be going on here. I see too many, athletes, too many celebrities coming out with these NFTs, musicians coming out with these NFTs, and no one knows what's going on to say, hey, I bought an NFT from Jay-Z and here it is. Okay, what does that mean? What are you doing with it? Is it a collectible that it'll accrue in value depending on the market? Maybe. Can you do anything more than that? Probably not, if you don't have any rights. So I believe that the utility of an NFT should be, when it comes to art, music, okay, and even, movies and whatever it is, well, not so much movies, too big, but I'm just saying it should represent It should represent an item, and whoever buys it should have every right to monetize that the way they see fit. And there's going to be an intrinsic change in what's going on there. You have, like Edelman just came out. You had Gronk that came out. They have their NFTs, and they're doing this. Those are collectibles. Okay, now are these one-off cards, digital cards? I'm not sure. I think they are. And if they are, great. Or maybe they're a series. Just the same way if you have art and you have prints. You can do that. Will they accrue in value? Yeah, it'll accrue in some sort of value, but when I see if someone has 100 cards out there, okay, and people are buying it, yeah, supply and demand. Depends on what people want to pay to own it. But again, in that instance, that individual doesn't have the rights to do anything more than to hold it and collect it. Same way if you were collecting baseball cards. You have no rights in anything, and that's what that's about. And all of that should be clarified. There should be something that maps it all out. But I'm just saying that if you are investing in NFTs and you think that you have the right to do a thing, think again. You have to read the fine print and make sure that if you are investing in an NFT for music or for memorabilia, okay, know what you're dealing with. Memorabilia, more than likely, you can't do whatever you want with it. The music, different story. Artwork, different story. You should be able to monetize it if you so choose. Okay, so now I see the big banks, I see the big financial institutions getting into this realm. I see it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. They're going to wind up being the custodian for these NFTs that represent exactly what I was just saying to you. Not so much the collectibles. It's going to represent the artwork, the digital art that's one-off, that's so like an owner of it can monetize it any which way they want. The digital music, same thing, that's owning the masters of it. Okay, now if this just shakes too, I doubt it's going to shake through to movies because it'd just be too much. I mean, for one thing to be issued for a movie, I don't know how that would work. It could, but I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think a movie studio wants to give up the rights to their movie, right? So anyway, just as I said, second wave of the internet is blockchain, hands down, no question. This is the digital future. This is where we're going. Everything's going to continue to run and grow and evolve. Okay, just keep on track of what is going on. Cryptocurrencies are not going away. Big banks are getting involved. Goldman Sachs, so on and so forth, getting involved to become the custodians of everything, which is going to make everything more secure as far as making sure that you got what you got. And now they can probably get some SIPC or something to go and protect it. So now you protect it in another way. So, Coinbase and these other platforms are not the only game in town anymore. So now you have new players that are not new players, they're old players, but they're getting in the game. It takes a long time for the big players like in technology, like Apple or Microsoft. It may take time for them to make a move, but when they do, you feel it. This right here with Goldman Sachs took them a little time. They were against it for a while. Now they're on board. Now they're on the train, and you're going to feel it, and it's going to impact the cryptocurrency market in a number of ways. You watch and see how the rest of this year winds up and how everything falls into place. Just make sure you're on the right side of that deal and make sure that the whatever crypto you're getting involved with has a utility, has to have a utility. Anyway, that's about it for this episode of Money Never Sleeps. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll be back with you for the next segment.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
What is your major malfunction?
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.
All opinions expressed by Luis Velazquez on the Money Never Sleeps radio show and its website are solely his opinions and do not reflect the opinions of the UCW radio show or their parent company or affiliates, and may have been previously disseminated by him on television, radio, internet, or another medium. You should not treat any opinion expressed by him as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of his opinion. His opinions are based upon information he considers to be reliable, but neither the UCW radio show nor its affiliates, parent companies, and or subsidiaries warrant its completeness or accuracy, and it should not be relied upon as such. The UCW radio show, Luis Velazquez, its affiliates, parent companies, and or subsidiaries are not under any obligation to update or correct any information provided on the radio show or on the website. His statements and opinions are subject to change without notice. No part of his compensation from the UCW radio show is related to the specific opinions he expresses. Please read the full disclaimer on MoneyNeverSleepsRadio.com.